was born in Sydney, Australia, to Chinese parents. My father's from Canton, from Guangzhou, and my mother's from Papua New Guinea, but she's Chinese. And they have a very interesting story of coming to Australia in a war-torn time. My mother came in a submarine, escaping the Japanese that were attacking Rabaul, where she's from, and I made a little mini documentary about her life. Actually, I made a mini documentary about both my mother and father. They have a very interesting story. My parents were very worried about me. They were saying to me, "You'll take over the Chinese restaurant, okay?" Because they had a Chinese restaurant, and I was like, "I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that." And he offered it to all the children, three of us, and we all said no. But he's great now. Like I think it was probably a little hard for him initially to his pride and joy, the restaurant that he'd built up from the ground, that none of us were going to take it over. But he is so supportive. My parents are both great. I was hired as an Australian actor on Australian rates, but I didn't care because it was such a huge. I mean, it changed my life, The Matrix. It was the vehicle which brought me to America and allowed me to break through in America and get great representation and get into the casting offices of the highest, most prestigious casting directors. And so it was really, and I was about to give up just before Matrix. I'm never ever frustrated being associated with Matrix. Because it hasn't stereotyped me for a start. It's only brought me kudos. It opened up all my opportunities in America. I'm so grateful to the Wachowskis for that film and giving me that role, because I got to meet so many amazing people. I mean, how many gigs do you get, movies do you do where you're working for 15 months? I mean, most film shoots are 1 month, 2 months, and you're rarely doing 15 months. I did 15 months in two great locations in my hometown of Sydney and also the San Francisco Bay Area. I got to work with, and being the lead in the Enter the Matrix video game, I got to work with all the actors. And so I was like the lead of my own mini Matrix movie. So it was fantastic. And the role was not so defining in terms of, being a lead like Neo or something that I'm instantly stamped with that forevermore. It was nothing but good. I, After the first movie, there was this huge cult following, and it forever changed what we did with special effects. And bullet time became emulated thereafter. I knew the sequels would be huge, and I also knew the budgets were huge. And the Wachowski brothers had a mission to diversify casting. So they not only racially diversified casting in those two sequels and in the first movie, but they also took people from every different field and put them in the movie. For example, they got two martial artists who were twins and made them those twin characters. And they had, I think their background was television presenting. They got athletes like Roy Ballard Jr., who's a boxer, and they got Broadway people like Randall Duck Kim, whose background is he's done movies too, but extensively in theater. So they were taking people from they weren't just taking movie people. They got people from theater, from television, from presenting, from sports, and put them in that movie. They got people from European cinema like Lambert Wilson and Monica Bellucci. And so they were just visionary in the way they were opening up how casting can be in a movie.